Okay, you ready to get going now?
Is it chilly in here? No? Is it
It's
just
cold, I
me?
mean, it's just cold in general, it's cold. night.
Oh, and you got it.
The United States of America.
And to the republic,
Which stands
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Oh.
Who was our supervisor?
You don't have them yet?
I haven't decided.
No.
They don't like us.
Who do we have online? Did you get everybody, Alex?
So far, there's no EAC members online.
Okay, all right, well, we got the people there, though.
Yeah.
That's good. So we're missing Todd. Todd is traveling. He talked to me before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike said he would be here, so.
Yeah, well, maybe he's just a little late, but that's fine.
Yeah, so I hear the door opening, so that might be him. Either way,
Yeah, we're good to go. Do you want me to just wait for him to come up and get settled? Yeah.
it's up to you.
Did everybody take a look at the meeting minutes, any issues with them?
I have one thing to say, that if we can just change what I said instead of concerns to make it questions. Where is it?
I know that Chris wants to join my family. But we really should spell the names right.
Yeah, there's no Y in there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, just let me know where you want the edits made. Which page?
For me, on the first page, my name, just take the Y out. BOWU.
Oh. I understand. Good catch. Well, duly noted. Okay, I'll
And
make
then
that.
for me, under 6A, for my comment, and instead of concerns, could you write questions? Cause I don't want it to come off wrong. I felt like I was,
Oh, you mean, second paragraph there?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
I felt like I was questioning, I didn't want, I don't want it to come off like.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, the announcements.
We have to, motion.
Oh, yeah.
Mention minutes.
Yes, motions to approve the minutes.
I'll move them, approve the minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We'll go to the announcement then. Mount Nebo Park Educational Lake. 11 o'clock, March 28th, that's the next one. Make a note to post online about those. Hike, good, I'll do that in a minute. Katie's been bringing the flyers out as well.
Yeah.
I dropped a couple off. I gotta keep doing that. Did you guys get your flyers?
The what?
The flyers. You didn't get any flyers. We'll have to give you some flyers for.
There's a stack right outside.
Right.
Are those,
Thank-
What
Which
kind,
one?
what
These
kind of
the-
flyers?
They're for the hikes and the pickup.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we can, if you have
So we
some
can.
favorite places around town, you can put them up.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Mount Nebo Park is the next one, the next hike, then pick up the Poconos event. That'll also be the first day. I have to. But we'll make a note. I'm gonna try and reach out. Maybe we can get on WSBG or something to talk about the pick up Poconos event. I think that'd be good if anybody wants to.
These are the contacts
Sure.
to get on the radio stations.
Excellent.
And
Thank
you can actually go there at 8 o'clock in the morning
Mhm.
and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And it gets broadcast and everybody
I've
gets
done
it.
it. It's great.
Yeah,
It's great. Yeah.
so,
So, yeah, it's a Poconos thing to do.
yeah,
So we'll.
so this is my only copy, but I'll send that to you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's great.
And if you're gonna do something like that, if we get a couple of us.
Yeah.
Then it promotes more
Absolutely.
conversation and it's more interesting for the people listening.
All right, I'll reach out and then we'll find out, how many people we can bring along.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if they're, I mean, if they're interested, I think they will be, because we can kind of frame it around the Earth Day thing. You
Yeah,
know,
that's a great idea. Yeah,
um,
and just, keep the supervisors in the loop,
okay,
get their blessing,
Sure.
before you go on air, when you know the date. I doubt it'll be a problem, but, just keep them in the loop so they're aware.
okay.
Has anyone thought, not necessarily about this event, but other events like it, contacting Blue Ridge Cable and Channel 13, that they often do send a reporter with, with cameras? And if they were there at that time, at the event, that would be a great publicity thing for us.
Yeah, I mean, if we wanted to do it the right way, I think we could actually create like a press release type of a thing and ask the township if that's okay. We'll release do a press release, and that way it can get sent out just as the press release. If anybody emails back, then they have all the information there. Just have to put one of those together, which
Does
is.
anyone want
which
to
is easy.
volunteer to write a press release?
I can do it.
You want to do it, Eric?
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, just send it to me and then I will put it in your next packet. It's a good idea, I agree. And we can, once we get the press release together, the township might have media contacts and
Yeah,
we can get them in the loop. Yeah, it's a great idea. The radio is a good idea.
so we'll do just a note for socials. On social media, they hand out the flyers, and then Thunder Swamp. May 2nd, 2026, the Thunder Swamp educational hike at 11 AM.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
Where is Thunder Swamp?
It was. Oh,
It's up just over the border of Pike County.
402, right?
Yeah,
Is it in the rec area?
I don't remember off the top of my head which public property it's on. I have to actually scout it out if anyone wants to join me.
That's DC&R property owned by the state, not the Park Service.
DCNR. There you go. Okay, well, I'll scout it out. Give you guys. Probably, hopefully by next, just the weather is a little tough this time of year. But once the weather clears up and conditions improve, I'll scout it out one way or the other. And report back to you guys, put a flyer together.
Okay. For for wetlands, educational hike. I mean, I know you can probably do some of the, invertebrates and, pointing stuff out. Is that something that we could include, like ESU or like some of the biologists for?
If you know anybody, you want to invite them, absolutely. I'd rather see an invited speaker
Yeah.
instead of, I can obviously do it, but yeah, invited speakers and partnerships, we should be striving to encourage as a council.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely, if we can find a professor, graduate student, postdoc, anyone like that, even just a biologist, other than myself, who wants to just share their knowledge, I think that's a really lovely idea.
Okay. Well, I can make a phone call and say that they'll start reaching out to different people. Yeah, so that's it for the announcements. Old business. The proposed right to know. Old business A, request to obtain permit related documents from PADEP for Manuel Bank wastewater treatment plant on River Road. This was the right to know request, right? And that went out.
No, hasn't gone out yet, right? So basically, I put a draft together for council to look over, and then the council's okay with the way it's drafted. Basically, you could vote to recommend it to the supervisors and get their blessing for me to submit the right to know, 'cause it's gonna take over a month. Response, so
So it just needs to be submitted to the supervisor.
yeah, if you guys wanna look it over, if you, in your packet, if you go past the minutes, you'll see. Your standard right to know form. And basically, very simple, I guess I would be the one submitting it on behalf of the township, which needs supervisor approval. Because it's a legal document, actually. It is, all you're asking for is public information, and if you look down sort of where it says records requested. You know, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences which sort of delineate what the council had described sort of in their discussion. So basically, permit review correspondences, so like engineer reviews back and forth. Any permit materials and violation documents, not including PADP correspondence to the applicant and the applicant's response back to the DEP. And then, you know, there's a date range, so you don't just get everything in the history.
Sure, sure.
So I figured 2022 to 2026 should be sufficient.
Mhm.
How did you pick those dates, just out of curiosity?
Honestly, it was just kind of a. We know the permit, I think the permit expired back in 24 or 23, so I figured if you go back a year, you
Yeah.
probably catch it all. You know, it's sort of like how wide of a net do you wanna catch? Like, if you guys wanna go back further, you can, it's just.
No, I think this.
No, I think it's
No,
good. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll give us a little bit of history and then show what they've done in the first year of
Yeah.
operation, yeah.
well, I'll make a motion that, we recommend to the supervisors that you submit this.
Second,
I'll second, third. Whatever.
all in favor?
Bye.
I have one comment if I may. I submitted online a right to know request to the state police. And, I got nowhere with it. It was just like, it was electronic runaround.
Yeah.
And I've heard other people say that if you request such information from the state police, I can't speak for other state agencies, that they really don't want to respond. And I've heard that about the, PennDOT, maybe, I mean, I wouldn't hold my breath.
Oh,
Well,
I'm sure more validity coming from the township. than
Yeah.
that Personal person is gonna help.
Yeah, that's.
yeah, and then that is also, I think, going in the DEP. And it's a supposedly, you're supposed to be able to review these upon request with official documents.
Right.
Yeah.
Time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they do take their time, I will tell you that.
Yeah, it's also worth pointing out, Mr. Chairman, to Ken's point. The police have a much different standard when it comes to public information and like right to knows than any other agency. So that might be one of the reasons you had some challenges. There's a lot of restrictions on police information compared to other agencies, so. It's pretty well known in, at least it's pretty well, yeah, like that's one of the nuances of like public information is the police tend to be. Very you know, they are, it's pretty complex. Whereas I don't anticipate the same level of complexity with like the DEP or the township.
sure.
They tend to be much more open about what public documents they can give out. So it is gonna take time and you know, the way this is written, it's hard to imagine them not giving you everything you could possibly need and then some. So it's plus you have plenty of time. If you don't get everything you need the first time, you can submit another one and another one, as long as it doesn't duplicate the original one. But you're not allowed to submit the same thing twice. But if there's something you feel that was missed in this first casting in the net, you can always submit a second one and a third one. So just to comment on that, because you did mention the police specifically, I just wanted to, not everybody knows that. It's not like common knowledge, you figure out state, like it, but it's,
Okay.
there's something about the criminal. Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, but if you ask a lawyer who knows this kind of stuff, they would probably be able to give you a better answer, but I know that
It
there are.
probably has to do with individual privacy rights and all other kinds of complicated things.
Yeah, things like, you know, ongoing criminal or non-criminal
Yeah.
investigations where they can't reveal certain information. It's pretty complex legal minutia. And I'm probably misspeaking a little bit, but I do know that the police, your experience might just be unique to the police.
And we have time to get this in before it really matters too, so we're good. So, old business B, discuss EAC 2025 annual report progress. Alex and I and Katie met this afternoon, when we talked a little bit about this. Mitch and I will, Alex is gonna print out all of the minutes. We'll split it between you and I. You can
That's
take
fine.
half, I'll take half.
Yep.
We'll take the, top, stories from that. Come together, meet with Alex, give him, give him what we've got, and then we'll work on that, that progress report. The 17th of March is our next meeting. If you're able to meet Tuesday afternoon before the meeting, then we can do it then,
17th of March.
if that's possible.
Yeah,
If not, we can do a Zoom as well if necessary. That's fine too.
Yeah, don't leave without coming to me, because I have them in the other room pre-booked.
Oh, great. Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
If that 3 p.m. works for that subcommittee on the 17th, Mitch, it's just, and Zoom works for me, it's whatever you guys wanna do. And then I think what was discussed is you will meet, kind of discuss what you found over the next couple of weeks, and then give me some feedback, and then we'll hopefully have a draft annual report by the first week of April for everyone to look at, right? And then,
We can discuss it in the meeting after.
Oh, yeah,
What
absolutely.
we come up with, and if anybody has any inputs, from there.
yeah.
The 1st of April is when we want to have it, the draft submitted then.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
You want the first half of the year or the second half?
Rock, paper, scissors.
There
I'll take the first half.
you go. Deal. All right, so as we said, Katie and I met. This afternoon with Alex regarding the trifold. You have the trifold here.
I took a look at it online and, you saw a couple of comments I had.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so what, I mean, we can, I pulled this up because I was just kind of designing it on a program that's easier to see.
Oh, well, you designed this.
I didn't, no, Katie pulled it together, pulled information together, Alex had information pulled together as well. We took some notes, and if now is the time where, I'll write on this paper. I'm gonna work with Jacob, over the next couple of weeks and get this, ironed out so that we have a draft ready. Couple of things that we talked about was like the mission statement. I went through the book and I couldn't find, we had worked on a mission statement. Do you remember, Mitch, where it was just like a little blurb about who we were and what we were doing. And the way that we came to that was when we did the voting of the topics that we wanted to focus on as the EIC, if you remember. And that's we used that as the way to create that little mission statement. When we go through the meeting minutes, maybe we'll find it.
I don't remember it. I was around at that time, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't remember a mission statement.
No, I did not.
I think you captured it pretty well with
Yeah.
what you have.
I mean, I didn't bother me, so.
Okay, all right. So if we can find that blurb, and we were hoping that Mike was here because I think he had helped put some words together for that, but it's fine. The point is, we should have a official mission statement for the EIC that we use on everything. And we can work on that and make sure that it's ready for this trifold. I pulled together some words, but we can.
Well, I have a suggestion that why don't we take this as the draft? And then each of us can weigh in on it and we'll email them to you. How's that sound?
I think that that's the best way forward,
Okay.
because that mission statement should be something that an entire council, work on together.
Yeah, it should be a consensus.
Yeah, exactly. Other information for the trifolds, additional information was, kind of like when somebody picks this up, they're gonna, like we talked about, who we are, that's the first thing they're gonna see when we meet. Have the QR codes, there'll be a, kind of like a call to action. I was thinking something that somebody can do to be more involved, be a part of the EAC, more than just coming to meetings. So we can focus on, pick up the Poconos events or the hikes. You'll see the QR code here, but maybe we can do what do we say? We could throw like 2 QR codes in there, one for. One is the sign up to volunteer, protect, improve our community. One will be the newsletter. And we can discuss maybe now just what. What do we want to, in this trifold, what do we want people to be able to do? Is the pick up the Poconos a good thing to get people together on, or should we do the hikes? How many, we're doing 4 hikes a year, right?
Oh, can't we have them, all of them on there?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I think one point to consider is that these things have to be printed and have some kind of shelf life.
correct.
And if you put all these events on there that, I think you should put annual events.
Yeah.
And then be careful with other things, because if we have 5,000 of these printed up and they're obsolete because the events have already happened.
And that's,
See what I'm saying?
and that's why the QR code is really great, because the QR code will be updated.
Okay.
Right, when you click on the QR code, it's gonna bring you to our events page, for instance, and it'll have all of the.
You mean
hikes.
on whatever device you have.
Right,
So, in other words, this is just like a key.
correct.
Okay,
So when somebody gets this, it'll say, click on this QR code to see our list of events,
oh,
upcoming events.
I'm gonna, I have one qualm about that. If I represent anybody in this community, it's the old people. And old people don't carry around phones and do these QRs. A lot of my friends don't have any idea what this is, and they don't wanna know what it
I
is.
got you.
So they would look at this, oh, this is all I need to know. I mean, I'm still a paper guy before I am a phone guy.
Oh, sure,
So I'm just saying, I'm not speaking for you, you're
all right.
more up to speed with the world than I am, I think.
Well, we could say on the headline then, for instance, we could say, the EAC, we can wordsmith this now so we can put it in, but the EAC hosts 4 educational hikes per year. Visit the website or click on this QR
There you
code
go, I like that.
to see the next year, the upcoming, event.
So there's permanent things we can have in these brochures.
Yeah.
And a list of annual things people can count on, and then resources that will have updates that they can.
Yeah, and
too.
that will allow us not to have to reprint them. Yeah, every
We
year.
wanna save the taxpayer dollars.
Is there a phone number? I mean, if some people are gonna be to the point where they don't even have email or
And,
look on that, they might wanna call. Can they call to the front and then they'll be able to tell them any upcoming events? They might want the phone number on there too.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, you could make it so that you print this once a year,
Yeah, well,
if
yeah,
it's done right.
if it's done, yeah, and then maybe that's, maybe that's what we can plan on. Alex, did say that we will have the schedule ready to go, right, for the rest of almost the rest of the year, right?
Yeah,
That brings to mind a question. So if the EAC is asking for materials like this to be printed and distributed, who pays for that? Do we have a budget? Does the EAC have a budget, or is it just flip over to somewhere in the township that we don't even know about?
I'm looking into that. There was some discussion during the committee about also maybe sending 1 or 2 members to some of these conferences. Like the annual gathering, which is in November. So we're looking into the budget for these sorts of things. I know that it's a valid question. So I don't think we should print more than once a year though. So I do agree. I think everyone's making good points. I agree with all of you. I do think Ken's point is rather salient. And probably, even if we have a list of hikes, there might be a rain date or something like that. It might be good to just, do the phone number, have a QR code, and then just mention that we have 4 to 6 hikes a year or something like that, right? And then the budget, we can look into it, if it's something that we can print in-house, that makes it much better. If it's something that you guys want to have a nice fancy one where you have to get fancy paper, that's a different story.
Yeah.
So I'll get back to you at the next meeting. We can have a follow-up.
I think something like this is sufficient to get
Yeah, I
our
agree.
people in in the township, I
Okay.
mean. It's a communication vehicle, it doesn't have to impress people.
Okay.
And you can mention the things that you have, different, but maybe not dates, only because the dates may change, but mention we do these type of.
Yeah.
Bulk,
Yeah.
point, these
And
type
then
of
the
events.
website, the
Check
phone
the phone
number,
number, website, dates.
and the QR code.
Oh, yeah, it's a good idea, like 4 hikes, 2 cleanup,
Yeah. So they know what they're.
2 workshops.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the yearly events that we have, the annual events as well, like the Delaware River Day.
Mhm.
Things like that.
And then have a presence at township events. Like, what's the event, once a year where people turn in their electronics and that stuff?
Yeah, the
You know,
cleanup.
that, so people are driving in right down the road there. So if we had a booth there, EAC, you know, that's part of I mean, the disposing of electronics is a big deal.
Yeah.
And we should support, you know, the effort for people to do it responsibly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so, I think that's great for. For the events page, then, we know what we'll do, you can, you know, go through all the different events, we'll have them listed on there.
Mhm.
Without dates, with phone number, with email, you know, all the information.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to our webmaster and see. I'm sure it's no problem whatsoever, and, this that's the best way to do it, I agree with all of you, yeah, it was a good discussion.
Yeah,
And
that does make sense.
so the rest of the information that's on here. Mission statement, we're gonna work on that. Priorities, we know our priorities, we've voted on those are non-contested. What makes Smithfield Township unique in Pennsylvania? We talked today a little bit about the convergence of all the rivers and streams and the fresh water. So I did a little research on that for some statistics, you know, 1.6 billion gallons a day or whatever it is that flow, or it's a lot, but we can put little, you know, stats to kind of prove the point, you know. Marshall's Creek supports endangered species, 3 waterfalls, the information on volume of clean water, that's what we just talked about. We will use this little block here, and if anybody has any additional information that they want to highlight, you can think about it and email us, or if you have anything off the top of your head, but also maybe another statistic is the amount of people that visit the Poconos and visit this township specifically for your recreation that relies, you know, solely on clean water, clean air.
That's a good point.
These are exactly the priorities that we had developed in December 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I mean, those are good, you can wordsmith the mission statement and put names under the pictures, like.
Yeah, good idea.
What falls is this?
Yeah, good
That's
idea.
Marshall's
That's Marshall's Creek.
That's the, when we just opened it up.
That's a good idea. Also Appalachian Trail,
Hmm,
we should note the Appalachian Trail coming through the township.
Kennedy Mountain, or it's right there,
Yeah, the Kittatinny Range, Mount Mincy is in our township. Yeah.
We actually have a border on the actual water gap, don't we?
Yep,
So, I mean, we are water gap, just like, the borough is, right?
yeah, you own the mount, the town doesn't, you own, strike that, the town, within the township borders is Mount, like. The view
Mount
on top of
Mincy?
Mount Mincy,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's, that whole section of the mountain up there is, that's what they call the peninsula of the township.
yeah.
So, yeah, so that's a good point, you pretty much are part of the
Yeah.
Kittatinny Ridge. One of
Yeah, so, yeah, what,
one of the
and
few.
that would definitely be what makes Smithfield Township.
Yeah.
That was one of the earliest, tourist attraction, middle class tourist attractions in the world.
Yeah, for.
When they put the train here,
Yeah.
that started everything.
Since the 1800s.
Right.
So, and then also people have lived here for at least
Yeah,
10,000 years.
Yeah,
Maybe longer,
the-
maybe.
the historically,
20,000
yeah,
years.
ecological significance, I would like to note some of the findings within the dig, right? So, and one of the oldest inhabited places in North America.
Here's another factoid. I can't explain it all because I don't remember it, but the name Pocono is the Lenape word for basically the mountain, the Delaware Water Gap. Okay,
Mincy.
no, Pocono, that word
Ah.
refers to the Delaware Water Gap, that formation. I can't do the translation, but that's what I read once.
Yeah.
So there's what's the right word? An etymological origin that's right here where we live.
Yeah, translates to where the water broke through the.
Yeah, it is something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's actually the word Muncie. That was the Muncie tribe. Muncie is the word that translates to where the water broke through the mountain.
Wow.
And there's, again, yes, we've spoken all these names that you are seeing on signs around here, those are Lenape.
Yeah, the word Delaware is actually a Frenchman's name.
Yeah.
It was three were Delaware.
Yeah, Delaware.
And then it became Delaware, and then they named the Lenapes were renamed the Delaware. So,
But
From the Muncie were,
yeah,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, that was the Muncie tribe, the tribe that was here within the Lenape
Yeah,
nation.
that's
Yeah.
right, yeah, within the greater Lenape peoples, yeah.
Yeah, and it gets even like, you can go one step deeper, and I think that they were considered the fertile clan of the Muncie people of the Lenape nation. That's what
yeah, I think that Turtle Beach, I think that's part of the name for that on the Jersey side, right?
Correct, yeah,
So there's a heck of a lot of history right there.
absolutely.
If you wanna learn about even before the turtle clan and the Native Americans, there's a paper out on the kiosk. To the left, when you leave this room, that goes into all the archaeological history of the Clovis
The close,
period,
yeah.
which was like one of the older. It's very detailed, has lots of descriptions as to, the original, they call them like the Paleo Native Americans. These are the folks before they're just like the hunters and gatherers, and then the confluence of the Delaware and the Broadhead was a hunting camp.
Yep.
And where they found all those artifacts is actually basically where the Paleo people would hunt species that are no longer even around, that's some of the stuff in that kiosk out there, like seeds from plants that don't exist here in this climate naturally anymore, so the climate has changed. And so, for tens of thousands of years, people have inhabited this area because of its abundant natural resources, the fish and the migratory animals, the large mammals. So it's kind of an amazing place from a statewide perspective too. Yeah.
Yeah, another comment, I was on the committee to look into the revamping of Minisink Park. Not what's the name of the park?
Yeah,
River,
the bike park.
like the bike park.
Yeah.
And, right there on Smithfield property is the archaeological dig site.
Mhm.
But it's been protected, it's covered, there's no access to it.
Yeah. that's
It's
correct.
it's just buried in brush right now.
Yeah.
And of course, the folks who live down there are concerned about what's gonna happen when the park opens up for more, frisbee golf and possible trails that will be, anyway, it's a complicated issue.
Yeah.
As far as that's concerned, but,
People have lived there for tens, if it makes them feel any better, people have lived there and hunted there for tens of thousands of years, so. They have a sacred site and it
Needs
is
to be
protected.
protected.
yeah, exactly. So for now, anyway, it is still protected, but,
Yeah,
and it's nice that at least right here in this building is a mini museum to all of that. And that's what you were talking about, right?
yeah, I printed out a scientific article from one of the scientists from the Smithsonian Institute who studied all the things that you were referencing, Eric.
Yeah,
And maybe what I could do is pull some factoids from that paper.
that's kind of what I was thinking, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely to highlight the fact that people have been here for, You know, as long as people.
You know, we could almost have a separate brochure just on the local history writings.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That would be really cool, but that would be something down the road, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the township could always, Middle Smithfield Township has a historic committee. That's sort of parallel to this group that just deals with the history of the area.
Oh, wow.
So Middle Smithfield doesn't have an EAC, but they do have a historic committee. So that's an option for the residents if you wanna talk to the
I would love that,
supervisors.
because right, almost my next neighbor is a 19th century stone schoolhouse, the shell of it. You know, I've always worried that it's gonna collapse one day and it just won't exist anymore. But it's very cool, and I think it would, if people here in the township had enough interest in that, maybe it can be saved from oblivion.
Oh, the Pierce cabin out there was saved from the 209 expansion when they put in whatever the bypass was.
Yeah,
PennDOT came in and used eminent domain, and that
Yeah.
was in the path of. And they moved it here, so there is a precedent for saving things, but then when you save things, it costs money to.
well, we do have a county historical association, so, and I'm a member of that, as you found out.
You don't
just
say.
yesterday. So, anyway, correct here.
Ben and I bumped into each other on Sunday at the Historic Association
Oh, yeah.
annual meeting, so. Anyway, yeah, like at some point, if you guys wanna make a recommendation to supervisors of appointing a historic committee, that's another entire project that the township actually could take on in the future. So there's a lot of options at townships, it's just a question of, do you have the volunteer hours to assure?
Yeah, the guy that did the dig, and his name's just eluding me right now, but anyway, there was an email chain that was going around where he would inform all the residents of what he was digging at the time and what he was
Oh, wow.
finding. I can put a text out to try and find that email. It's still going out, it's still happening.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So, cause he just writes like, oh, today we did this and this is where we're digging and this is what we found. He puts the pictures in there, what he found. There's a guy that passed away recently. He was one of they're amateur, hobbyists essentially. But the Delaware Water Gap National Recreation Area does not allow people to do these archaeological digs, but they do allow him to do it. So if you can get on his team, then he will, you're basically as a volunteer, and he needs volunteers.
Yeah.
So they were doing a dig, when Jay passed away, he lived right on the river as well, but when he passed away, his collection, which was like 400 pieces, and he has an incredible amount of information on where he found each arrowhead, where he found each, gorget and all this stuff. And he had to actually keep them for a little while and then go bring them back and put them down right where he found them, which I thought was pretty neat.
What's a gorget?
The gorgets are what they wear on their, has the two holes in it.
Oh, I see.
It's like a pendant. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Like like shellfish or rocks, or what do they usually?
No, stone.
Stone, huh?
Yeah, there's actually, one was found on Franklin Hill Road
Oh, really?
that actually had bears etched into it and fish.
Wow.
Yeah, it's some pretty interesting stuff. But I think the way to do this, yes, is we'll make a note to talk about the historical aspect of the township and see what we can do as a group to try and move that forward, because it would be really incredible to do, even if it was like, a couple of meetings a year or something, just to.
I would suggest we get in touch with somebody over at Middle Smithfield, because they've got people doing this for a while. They have, they could save us some unnecessary steps.
Sure. Yeah. So,
And I'll go to the Historical Association and see,
yeah, I'm incredibly interested in that, so I would.
why don't you join the Historical Association? It's cheap.
I need to,
Yeah.
especially since the house is almost finished and
Oh,
it's,
then,
yeah.
I think they would be interested
Yeah.
in putting you on the register.
Yeah, not until it's done. I don't wanna involve myself in that. I know that it gets kind of tricky.
Well, the association just spent a lot of money putting an addition on the building and restoring the inside. That's what this annual meeting was all about. And, you know, they raised a lot of money to do that. And they've helped raise money for other preservation projects. They have an annual award for the best preservation in the county.
Yeah.
And your property might qualify.
Yeah, that's great.
So you should check it out.
I will, yeah, there's, just for the group, there's a Facebook group called NEPA Archaeology, I think. And it's run by a local guy. And he posts pretty much daily about all of the archaeological findings. They do a lot of LiDAR mapping right now where they're able to see where the forts were. Definitely worth being a member of that group because very specific to this area. And it's all related to Indian forts, settlers. He goes incredibly in depth, you know, it's way beyond, you know, some of the stuff that we would be doing, like the different GIS mapping of the ground, and then they dig, and then if they come up with wood or burnt charcoal, then they know that there was a campfire there, and then they do a larger dig. It's pretty neat. So NEPA Archaeology on Facebook is definitely worth joining. So back to the trifold with the historical and ecological significance, I think that we'll have enough information there, probably too much, so we'll just have to whittle it down. Important bird and wildlife corridor, so this is, you know, the wildlife section, you know, which is good, as Alex had said before, was like, you know, pictures of the eagles, this is what grabs people's attention. Everything that's in here, I think, is great. We can, you know, we can talk about, you know, the nesting eagles and, you know, however many eagles nests there are along Delaware, or I think we can, I know Hawk Mountain, right, does the count every year about how many migratory birds of prey fly over the area. So, and it's, you know, in the thousands. It's pretty neat. That would be a really cool thing to do, is to go there during the week, or maybe it's a couple of weeks, you know what I'm talking about?
You could even do your own count. I mean,
Yeah,
I just don't know where exactly I've heard of it. Where is Hawk Mountain exactly?
it's out 78 way, I think, like Fort Indian Town Gap area, something like that. I think it's on the out 78.
Along the Kitty Ridge,
Yeah, it's on the
like
ridge. Yeah,
that away, like closer to Allentown,
yeah. I think Fort Indian Town Gap is like right where it is, actually.
Fort Indian Town.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now.
That's gonna be out way past downtown.
Yeah.
Way towards like Hershey.
That might be a little bit too much
Way
for
Yeah,
yeah,
Gap is, I think, right before.
Hawk
an
Mountain.
overnight camping trip.
That's where.
Yeah, it's Pottsville. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
That's fine.
Jeez,
That's fine.
that is extremely far. That's like in Chester County.
Hour 45 from.
Yeah, that's far. Still worth a trip at some point.
Really, yeah, really cool though. And I love the idea of doing our own bird count. That would be great.
Yeah.
And I know Lewis does that stuff, and he would 100% be willing to schedule something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's just another thing, but that would be a fun thing to do for one of our events, for sure. Isn't it like, it's at the end of the year, right? Isn't it? I think it is. Yeah. Let's see. We'll figure it out, but with this, does anybody want anything to add in the wildlife corridor section? Like this is just the wildlife section of our trifold. Maybe we could talk about how it's there's like the most black bears in Smithfield Township too. I think of many, almost all places on earth, we're like the largest concentration of black bears.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I know I've seen them, but I didn't know that they was,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and big ones too.
Yeah.
So,
It's a very rich, the entire Delaware Warrigat Valley.
Yeah.
Is one of the, is a biological hotspot.
Yeah.
Because of there's a lot of biodiversity of species down in there, of just tree and shrub species and just plant species in general, and there's a lot of food. And it's also not really near any highways, there's not a lot of roadkill, you know what I mean, like that is a factor. There's really no big highways that go up and down there, and there's not a lot of human settlement in there, so you just have this perfect recipe for thriving wildlife of all types. It's really one of the crown jewels of ecological protection in the state, this recreation area up to Milford. So, you know, the residents, you're very lucky to have that. And it's at the more time that goes by, the more mature the forests become, the more robust the habitat becomes as well.
yeah. So maybe for that portion, we could say like, I don't know, what, what animals are, what habitat are we, what are we trying to protect for what animals or something, something along those lines to kind of like form it a little bit differently,
Yeah,
like, what the council, the Environmental Advisory Council is trying to protect habitat for these native species. And then we could list some of the common species that are here that we're trying
Well,
to.
that's easy to do, or just read the placards in Mount Nebo Park and some of the other parks, you get a list of a lot of all the native critters of all kinds, and, from the bears down to the salamanders.
Well, and the reason that I was thinking that too is because we were talking about pictures where like, everybody likes to open something up and see nice photos,
Yeah.
and we can say, like what's in your backyard maybe, and why are, and these.
I was
These are the
thinking
animals.
baby frogs.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying, we should include the amphibians as well, I mean, we live in an area for sure that is home to a bunch of amphibians that are
Yeah.
yeah.
endangered, and
As you mentioned, frogs and amphibians, Eric, there's an event coming up.
And don't forget, rattlesnakes.
and the
Got that?
rattlesnakes, yeah.
Pocono Heritage Land Trust has a frog event coming up. Katie Euler from the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center is hosting it. So I can send that out to everybody.
Yeah, please.
I'll send these things out as I find them, but yeah, if anyone wants to go to that, it's a good, you like frogs, that's the one to go to.
This is the
We
time of
have
year,
so many in our backyard, yeah.
when spring hits and they close River Road for the amphibian crossing.
Yeah.
That is a really cool thing that I think that we do
It is.
in our township, I. Every year, everyone's like, when's it gonna happen? Then you hit that rain and then they post it online, so, I don't know, it's pretty neat.
It's Thursday, March 26th, Frog Talk with Katie Euler. Thursday, March 26th at 4:30 PM at the Broadhead Creek Heritage Center. Which is about 10 minutes from here. So yes, definitely save the date for that one.
Yeah, that would be fun.
So. Yeah. Again. For this one page here, Alex, I think that. Maybe we can just put a blurb in, like, Smithfield Township is home to. Ecologically sensitive habitat for, thousands of. Animals, some critically, endangered
Yeah.
and.
Like the sturgeons,
Yes.
they kind of sturgeons swim all the way here, you know that?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
As I understand it, yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
So, yeah,
Very, very.
continue, sorry.
No, that's what I mean. Like you can kind of frame this section right here as like, this is Smithfield Township. This is the habitat we're trying to, preserve for these thousands of creatures, and then maybe put like some of the top ones that we want to put in there just for photo's sake.
We've got them from every category, from the water to the land, to the air, you got eagles, everything in between.
Yeah, that's a good way to maybe word it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget the insects.
And then,
Yeah, they're flying, they're crawling, they're underground, they're everywhere.
Big
I like
fly
that, yeah,
hatches.
that'll be.
If you're ever wondering what those insects are that fly around the lights down your mini sink, it's the mayflies from the Delaware,
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
which is unique in this
Yeah.
area. The water quality is so high that those light, that's why it's important to have light, like control light pollution, because it impacts the rhythm of these, nocturnal insects.
Yes, the mayfly hatch for fly fishermen, not the.
Mayflies over Lake Erie, remember those?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good with this, I think, right, as far as how we're gonna structure that page.
Yeah, I think we're doing, I think it's gonna come out really nice.
Yeah.
Do you want, Eric, do you want me to like make these edits and just send it to you and Jacob? And then
Yeah.
you guys can workshop it? Do you guys wanna like? Kind of vote on it and be like, let's move this forward so we can have it ready for the 25th?
And
I
what
pick up.
I wrote it on here too, and I'm gonna it's much easier for me to put it into a format or, like I'm using Canva or Photoshop or whatever, but. I can put it together and then send it to Jacob. It'll have all the information on it. You can put it into whatever format. you want.
I have one other suggestion. If the photo of the EAC only has 4 of them.
I know.
So, I mean, if it's possible to get everybody in the room at one time, we should get a new photo.
Everyone should do that.
Yeah, because you're not in it, Mitch, and you're,
No, but I mean, everybody should be in.
yeah, I know, that's what I'm
So let's make it a point to say it's photo day.
saying. Yeah,
Everybody be here next, the next meeting.
right. And wear your Sunday best and all that.
The only comment I would add, and I put a bunch of them
Okay.
in here,
Okay.
is that, I think you don't wanna overcrowd it with too much information.
Yeah.
Right now, it's nice and simple.
Yeah.
You can get maybe 5 major points across that we want people to really have as takeaways. And if we crowd it up with stuff, people won't look at it.
I agree with
Yeah.
Mitch on that, if we get too much information or get it too
Right.
compacted, people are gonna go.
And that's what I was saying, what's the goal of having this? The goal in my mind, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's just to let people know who we are. And how to capture them, to bring them to an event, so we can get to know them. And then take it from there. So this is another tool to just get people involved.
Yeah.
So
It's
that
a
we can
gateway.
meet them in person or get them on the list.
And get them on the communication.
Get them on the too, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that we want there to be some type of a call to action. So. Some type of a headline in here that says, this council was created to. Conserve the environment in your township, but we can't,
We can't.
do that, without your help, and this is how you can help. So, and we talked about that too. It's just, what can you
But we
do?
did change it to the sign up to volunteer and protect. And improve our community,
But it's like,
but yeah, like something. Punchier maybe.
Well, to use a fishing metaphor, what this basically is a lure.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's bait.
yeah,
So we want them to fight and look for more information
and get involved.
and get involved.
Get involved. So maybe it's like, do you care about the environment? Are you local to this area? Sign up here, join our hike, pick up the Poconos, something like.
Well, I think call to action is to help conserve our natural resources.
Yeah.
That's all, I mean, everything we're talking about there are natural resources.
It's also like staying involved. Cause there's a lot of folks that don't realize that it's important to stay involved at the local level. This is where all the changes occur.
Yeah, that's a great idea too. Yeah, like. Conservation starts at the local level.
There you go.
oh, that's good, yeah.
Yep, it's kind of like
I like that.
picking up the trash.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. Cause this is where the rubber meets the road here, even though these EAC meetings, the planning commission You know, planning commission is the first line of defense. They see things before even the supervisors vote on things. So like, and the EAC as having a planning commission member, the changes that are gonna materially impact your community are seen here at the municipal level. So like all the things you see when you drive around at one point got approval here at the local level.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of discretion involved in land use and zoning and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily, you know, there's some things you don't have discretion on as a township, but you know, this is really important. And I think the way that you said that, Eric, conservation
like
starts
that,
at
yeah.
the local level is a good way of
I
kind of
like
summing
that,
that
yeah.
up.
you don't realize how all of them kind of tie together too, unless you start going every single meeting, when you go to them all. If they all kind of, you start to figure it out.
Yeah, like all the parks in Stroud Regional, a lot of those were protected because the supervisors purchased them.
Yeah,
And like in the West End, a lot of those parks, a lot of the parks all around were because you had county commissioners who prioritized protecting.
protecting, yeah,
And it's literally like, if you just don't have the elected officials that have that as a priority, you wouldn't have had those things.
Yeah.
Like if one of those people hadn't gotten elected, like a lot of the open space in the county just wouldn't exist. So like, it's super, super important to get involved.
It's like Teddy Roosevelt.
For conservation reasons.
Yeah, without Teddy, where would we be?
Yeah, you can go all the way back then.
Yeah. And he was hated for doing what he did, and now, you know, well, it's weird, but anyhow.
Very, very well put.
So. We don't need to vote on anything for that, we know what we're doing, if anybody has any questions, we'll just email back and forth, we'll get this thing done and submitted. New business. 7A, discuss a draft letter to the supervisors to send to Governor Shapiro on the clean air. This is. And.
yeah,
Well, we agreed to do this, I just drafted it.
That was great.
To read the minutes.
Yeah, it's great. No, it's great. Yeah.
I like it.
I'm very happy about this. This is,
I think it's something we should do, definitely.
So it's really then up to the supervisors to take it to the next step. And I hope they don't water it down or whatever they do, but, you know, this is our job to advise them.
Right.
And this is our advice, so we would urge them to take it, right?
yes.
Yeah, and it's too bad we don't have a supervisor here to comment at this time, but, I guess this will move forward in its current form. Is that what we're gonna do, or?
That's up to you guys.
I think it's perfect.
I think it's good, yeah,
I don't like the words, federal laws.
Okay.
I think
Yeah, you wrote it with me.
that can be said differently because the federal laws will change and I think protecting the environment is definitely something that we should be encouraging to do. But I would separate it from federal law.
You could just
So
say guidelines.
what sentence are you looking at here?
Oh, that's what it says, enforcing established federal laws,
We could.
Well, the
because
laws,
they're all changing right now.
well, they, no. The fact is, the law is the law. The question is, can the executive branch change the law by edict, by this? This is something that will hit the courts. We're not attorneys here. Perhaps our solicitor will look at that and say, I just took this from what's happening here. This is not my idea. This is what the federal government is attempting to do. They're attempting to repeal the Clean Air Act, which is the basis for the PA Department of Environmental Protection.
Well, instead of, I understand your point, that if you, it could be.
Oh, I
It
see,
could be
okay,
dated, you know, like you're saying, like the federal law could change, and so it's.
but it hasn't yet.
I know, but if it were to, so you could just put, you know, established guidelines or, you know, because that's really what you're doing. You know?
Well, we would hope that, that the state government headed by the governor and the state EPA will continue enforcing the laws as they apply.
Okay.
As far as we know, the federal government has not actually repealed the Clean Air Act, but they are attempting to do so.
Maybe enforcing the current established federal laws.
That's that's the idea, that is the idea.
Current,
The
so
current
that would clear that
would,
up,
would fix it,
yeah.
Which sentence?
Last
the
paragraph,
last paragraph,
Oh, I see, okay,
and enforcing the current federal laws,
understood.
that clears that up.
Okay,
Okay. I will make a motion to submit this to the board.
second,
Second, all in favor?
I,
Aye. So. Breakdown,
Yeah, you guys are running a little tight on time, so I don't know if we want to discuss this or not. There was actually a whole presentation that I gave everybody.
oh, I saw it on
It's up to you if you wanna do this tonight, if you wanna table to the next meeting, it's not really time sensitive. We can, it would take like probably like 20 minutes to talk about it though.
I've had a long day,
Okay.
I'd rather not in my, I mean,
Yeah, like. Yeah, I understand,
On first blush, I'll just make one comment, it looks very bureaucratic to me. And if you apply for something like that, you get sucked into doing a lot of stuff, which isn't necessarily improving the environment in the township. It's more administrative. So, I'm not necessarily, on first blush, I'm not really in favor of submitting an application. What I am in favor of is picking those things that we can do to improve the bird habitat. And we can be very selective and take action within the township to improve the township without getting tied up in a bunch of administrative BS. That's my thought.
yeah, but also, doesn't this like help preserve areas, you know?
well, now
Wouldn't this
that,
be a thing that,
now that we have the packet. We can take it home.
and look it
Look it
over,
over.
yeah, I would really like to study this further, but
yeah,
I,
yeah, cause I didn't think about the bureaucratic side of it either, I never do.
Generally, I like it because. Well, the birds. We, yes, sure there's a lot to learn, but we'll table this, to the next meeting. And we can move into council member comment, Anybody has anything? Public comment? No public?
Oh, I got,
There
hey,
you go.
can I, real quick,
Patrick,
how's everybody doing? I was listening here about your trifold, which I think is gonna be a great resource for the community. But when you're talking about Mount Mincy and that general area, all through the Point of the Gap, maybe try to reach out to the Park Service because they got a lot of great information and artifacts of that general area, even all the way back 300 million years ago or whenever, when the glaciers came through and formed all that. When I worked there, I've seen a lot of the fossils and et cetera that they have. So it's pretty neat stuff. So maybe somebody might want to reach out to their PR representative about that and try to get some information so you can put that on your site when you scan the QR code because it is pretty interesting. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
no, it's a good idea. I actually know who she is. So, and I see her once in a while. It's a good idea. We should reach out anyway as the board. So we will do that.
And I do have one comment. I think it's really important that we have a couple of people go to the stormwater management town hall that Maureen Madden
Yeah,
is gonna conduct on March 7th. I think we might come up with some ideas as to what would apply to Smithfield Township. And we will certainly see what the public that attends that has to say about stormwater management.
Date done,
Pardon?
date done.
Date is March 7th at 10 a.m. to noon at Northampton Community College.
That's a really good point, Mitch. I
Yeah,
don't know if anyone here,
I saw it, I have it on my.
So that's Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
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 is anyone here willing to volunteer to go and report back to the group?
This Saturday?
Unfortunately, I would love to go, but I have a PSATs event all day on Saturday, so I have to miss it, but I think it'd be great if
I'm gonna try to go.
Mitch, okay, anyone else
I'm
wanna?
not ruling it out. I have to check. I don't have a calendar here.
Okay.
I don't know.
So it's this coming Saturday at 10 a.m. at, where's it, at Northampton? Okay, and in the big auditorium where they have all these sorts of things, right? Back by the solar panel roof parking area, okay.
That's where they do it.
And then the second one is March 12th, which deals with the fresh water habits that can be applied in our community. And I don't know this guy, Daryl Spector.
Yeah, he's very good, I know Daryl well, I used to work with him,
Oh, really?
highly recommend if you can make that, where is it located?
That is located at the Broadhead Creek Heritage Center,
That's the same place the frog
fifteen
pops.
39 Cherry Lane Road, East Stroudsburg. Can't be too far out there.
Yeah. That's highly recommended. Was it March 12th, is that the next weekend?
No, it's a Thursday.
Thursday, what time? What
What
time?
time is it?
It didn't say.
Uh,
A lot of these things, if you read Debbie Kulik's list of events in the Pocono Record, she has a couple times a week. She publishes what's going on.
I don't get the Pocono record. It's almost
You
nearly.
can get it online.
Oh, well.
Daryl is extremely good.
Yeah.
He's significantly above average, he's way more charismatic than me. He used to lead hikes, he's one of the best, let me see if I can, he's one of the best resources in the county, so I would definitely.
Alex, could you send
There
her?
it is, I see it here, it is. The 12th, 6 to 7 p.m. And it's located in the same place, the Heritage Center, it's about 10 minutes from here, highly
Oh,
recommend.
do that.
Alex,
Like anything,
I could
Daryl,
probably
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
You want me to send it out, Ken?
I was saying, Alex, could you send out an email to everybody with that information?
yeah,
And that way I won't screw it up, and if I go, I'll go.
that, like, the evening one I could definitely do, I wanna say
Working with.
tentatively, I might be able to do Saturday. That meeting, Saturdays are iffy sometimes for me in the daytime, early in the
Yeah.
day.
And then finally, my comment is on this open space handbook draft that is been put together by We Conserve PA. We've talked about open space, that's part of our charter here. This might give us a lot more factual, specific information. I don't know. I haven't started to go through it. I just printed it out.
I will make we can make a note just before we get done here that we will talk next week. I'm gonna put it on the agenda or in 2 weeks. About some of the, research that I did regarding EACs and their ability to obtain open spaces. And
That'd be great.
very specific grants and programs that are available, which is always the issue for us. Because we are not able to offer a price per acre that is acceptable usually for the landowners. That's why we're not able to acquire any land, so, but in some of the research that I did, there's a little step-by-step process on how these EACs have been able to do that.
I think you have to find people, like Alex was saying, that get into positions and want to leave a bit of a legacy.
Sure.
And they're not trying to, make money on the property or even get their money out of it.
Yeah,
Well,
Gotta find people that are like that.
Yeah, this property here, Waterfront Park was, well, I think one of the, I believe, don't quote me on this, I'm on video, but I believe one of the previous supervisors owned this land and just, could have held on to it, but decided to,
Right.
I don't know what the circumstances were, but it's, and if you go down to the you know, the Al Wilson Field, you can see, and then Marshall's Falls, that, it's all the supervisors are the ones that are responsible for protecting open space, in a large way. It's not. So, and like you said, the legacy, you have, if you have the right person in these spots, then, and if they really, I think you have it right here in your backyard, an example of it.
Well, I would suggest that we put open spaces as a future agenda item.
Yes.
We can get a lengthy discussion right now, and
Yeah, I was just making my comments, that's all.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night.
Hey, you got us out of here on that.